Welcome to another episode of St. Vincent Untold Stories. On this episode, we just want to give you some highlights and some updates of things that have been going on in St. Vincent and the Grenadines after the last of volcanic eruptions. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon if you wish to see more videos like this one. This is the year 2021 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have a population of over 110,000 people. And just imagine that if you want something simple like a driver's license, a birth certificate, and so forth, you have to go to town for that. In 2021, the current administration, they met it that way about 20-something years ago, and they haven't changed it over 20-something years, and they are calling this good leadership. Let me show you another Sykes again. You see, if you misplace your driver's license, or if it gets lost, you have to pay another $100 to get it back one again. It is already in the system to say you paid. So even though you lost the card or the receipt, can't you just go back and pay a smaller fee to get it back one? You have to pay $100 again for just a card that you recently paid for. I am trying to understand, why do we have postal services? Shouldn't these things be done at several post offices around St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Just recently, my friend and I was having a discussion about those things that are going on in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. She migrated to Canada 3 years ago. And she's saying that she's going to come back to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and meet the same process going on where you have to go down to get a birth certificate. Someone made an allegation that half of the reason to why St. Vincent is so difficult, it is because some big companies don't pay their taxes. Remember we told you that the monies that the vehicle owners pay to keep these vehicles on the road goes towards the taxes, and they should be used to repair the roads. But what is happening? It is because some poor sons are avoiding their rightful tax payment. So the ones that's supposed to be used to pay to fix the road, those are being used to pay workers. So in all honesty, we need to balance out the thing carefully. Just recently, our team was out at the Argyle International Airport, and we stayed there for a while, and we didn't even see a flight arrive. Now, the allegations are that Barbados is saying that no flights would be coming into St. Vincent and the Grenadines because of the high rate of Big C. Simple things like that would put a strain on our economy. So when the big man says no mass gathering, we have to understand that let us not do mass gathering right now. Otherwise, the country would take a long time before it opens back. You see, persons would often highlight the issue in which they said that you had to quarantine for 1 day when they just started, and they would put the blame on the guys that ran away, and they should get the blame for real. But then again, we have individuals doing undercover things with mass gathering, and then they are putting the place in more problems because it's gonna take a long time before this place gets back to normal if you continue like this. Let me just give you an example of what I was taught about a business. Look at the situation carefully. You notice sometimes some business places come out hot, and they just go back down. One individual that knows a lot about her business, she sat me down and she spoke to me and she told me what? It is not about the rush, it is about endurance. That is why you see we are continuing to do this program step by step. We are not rushing. Do you remember some vloggers came out and when the volcano erupted, they seized the opportunities to do volcanic videos only and not studying the long term. They only studied the short term and after a while their channel went back to zero. So what the big man is asking the Vincent people to do, don't worry about the short term, you have to study the long term. If we don't do the right thing, then the number of cases would continue to increase and we would have lockdowns after lockdowns. Let me talk to the entertainers. If you are a popular DJ and you know that when the place was open, you was making $500 to $600 on a weekly basis. Sometimes you make that 3 nights per week. So tell me something. Would you rather just make that one time a year than to make it on a weekly basis? In this thing called a Big C, we have to use our common sense and then we would know who is smart. What some individuals are failing to understand, even though you do these undercover events and you use the temperature checker machine, when you put it at the forehead, it might not show up at the same time. What about days after? Let's just try to bring back down these numbers and get it back to zero. There are persons who have been unemployed, fired from their jobs since last year. So let's not be selfish. Let us try to control this thing so everybody could get back on their feet. There are persons who want to go to church, but they understand the situation that we are in currently. The unemployment rate right now is very high. We are under extreme poverty. We just had a volcanic eruption, plus floods, plus lahars. Plus we have the Big C on our hands. Plus let's say that there is dengue in the country. They gave 2 options. Take the job or take the test. So if you don't want the job, just take the test. Right now, the private sector is going into a lot of things. The bars, the dance halls, the corner side shops. Right now, they are unable to pay staff like how they used to. They are unable to pay their bills. Even some of the churches are feeling a pinch because some of the members are home unemployed and they can't bring in collection to say help out to do certain things anymore. You saw the video that we posted recently with the wall structure in Sandy Bay, how it broke off in two when the lahars came down. You see what we were warning about. So we are telling this current administration, you have to relocate those people. If you build back their houses and lahars come again, then you are wasting the monies. The solution is simple. If you don't have land space, then you build up. You could do apartment buildings in skyscrapers. Then again, we have to look at agriculture. Because most of the persons that evacuated from places like Sandy Bay are farmers. When we were growing up, we used to be around an elder and we noticed that he could do many skills with his hands. So we were saying that when we get older, we wanted to do that too. So I myself followed along and I went to do a lot of courses and I got certified in several different areas. So that's why I continue to try to get youths on the right path and to pass on what I have learned onto them. So I'm telling the ghetto youths, don't settle for one thing, do many things, do the courses so that you can have the training and the skill already, because when you have a skill, no one can take that away from you. You can lose a job today and get one tomorrow, you can create a self-employment. So what the big man can do for some of those persons that were evacuated, that can't go back to the farms, he should set up some courses for them to learn different skills. Say, for example, you evacuated to somewhere in the green zone and you decide to stay there because you can't go back to the home that was mashed up, and you can't go back to the farm because the farm is destroyed. And if you try going back, passage alone will take everything from you. There are a lot of lands in the green zone as well, not being walked. So the big man could find out who the lands belong to, and to sign an agreement with the person for the land, and those who evacuated who want to continue doing farming. Not everyone thinks the same, because they are going to have those who would say, well, farming is all that I know, and that is what I want to continue to do. Let us look at solutions to try to get the country back on track. With that being said, I just want to big up the entire population in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the regional islands, and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us during these difficult times. We thank you. I'm out.